everybody, happy Sunday. Pizza. I absolutely love making homemade pizza. Today on the show, we're going to show you how to make a quick pizza dough recipe, but we're also going to show you how to make something that you may see if you're in Napoli. Two really good doughs. We'll go into the fundamentals of what flour to use, what type of yeast to use, how yeast eats the flours and the sugars to create carbon dioxide, and then how to cook it in your own oven to create the perfect pizza. Hello, Mrs. Spielberg.
Well, hello there.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm looking at that Aperol Spritz that you're starting up there.
Aperol Spritz is one of those aperitifs we have. I used to drink this in Venice all the time. I think it's marvelous. You know, one of the ways always to remember how to make an Aperol Spritz is 3, 2, 1. So basically what that would be, 3 ounces of, we've got 3 ounces of Prosecco, which we think about the Italian sparkling wine. Feel free if you've got some Cava, you know, which is the Spanish sparkling wine, or if you've got an inexpensive champagne. So it's always 3 ounces of that, and there would be 2 ounces of Aperol. That's about 1, a little splash more. 2 ounces of Aperol, and then it's always 1 ounce of seltzer or sparkling water. And that's how you make an Aperol Spritz. When it comes to garnishing it, sometimes you'll see it with an olive, sometimes you'll see it with just a piece of orange. So we'll just take a piece of orange and place that in. So just taking a slice of orange and placing it in. And there you have an Aperol Spritz, which I think is one of those drinks you can have all year round, and it always opens up your taste buds. Here's to you. Cheers, everybody.
Wait, hold on, I'm gonna grab it.
Oh gosh. Good, great.
I'm just excited that it's, you know, the tech right now is working and it's in the right configuration.
What?
Landscape.
What? Don't touch wood. Touch wood.
I know.
I love pizza. I've been making it for years, and many friends, I'm always treating them to pizza. I still don't think I've got to a place where I want to be, but the place where I'm at is jolly good. It's better than most pizzerias. I can stick my neck out. Today what we're going to show you is, we're going to show you a classic Neapolitan style, and this is made in your home oven. Now this one was made an hour and a half ago, but you can see it's got the leopard spots. It's beautiful and it looks great. And then we'll also show you how you can make it in a cast iron skillet, Mrs. Spielberg. So everybody has a cast iron skillet, so if you haven't got a tray, you can make a jolly good pizza in a cast iron skillet. First thing we're going to talk about is flour. So when it comes to flour and pizza, flour has different proteins. The proteins is going to form the glutens, and that's going to give us that chew factor. When we think about Europe, you have that wonderful pizza and it's got a great chew to it. Flour in general, it's always good to get to know about this, a little bit of flour IQ. Your lowest flour protein is cake flour. That's about 7% protein. So that's when you make an angel food cake, the flour will be nice and low on there, so it'll be soft, delicate. The next flour we always use is all-purpose flour. All-purpose flour will have between 10 to 11% protein. So that's good for cookies, that's good for cakes. Next, we have bread flour. Bread flour has 12.7% protein. What does that mean? That means you've got that nice chew to your bread. And then you see on the market now we have double O.
I'm going in.
So you can see double O. Hey man, it's double O flour. What does double O mean? It doesn't mean that it's higher protein. It means that it's been finer grained. So they've taken it and it's fine. It's a real fine, the finest flour. Believe it or not, King Arthur makes the 2 of these. Double O is 12.5 and it's more money. Bread flour is 12.7. You're going to get more of a chew from this, but you're going to get a softer chew pizza.
And can you find that in your grocery store?
These are all from our local grocery store on Ireland. These are, so if you was to say to me, Mrs. Spielberg, I'm telling you seriously now, when it comes to pizza, the double O is always the choice, but if you made it with this, happy days with bread flour. If you think about Europe, their flour is going to be between 13 and 14%. King Arthur do one you can order online called Sir Lancelot, and it's really good. People ask me, why do I use King Arthur? King Arthur is consistent all the way around. A lot of the other brands, they're not as consistent because when they get the wheat, their proteins change, and they can change up to 0.5%, so 0.5, and that can make a lot of difference with your breads. So that's why I always choose to work. You'll always see me with King Arthur. All year round, it's always consistent. Don't work for the brand. I just love the brand, and it's something that I've had a great experience with. And if you've got some other brands you work with, flour, please do tell us. You know, this is a community where we all get together and share and learn. So that's flour, Mrs. Spielberg.
Yeah.
If you're going to, let's make, what we'll do first of all, let's make a dough where you get up in the morning and the family says, I want pizza tonight, okay?
Okay.
So the first thing what I've got is I've got some flour in the bowl, Mrs. Spielberg, right?
Yep.
Flour, the yeast. Now when we make a dough for that same day or for in a few hours time, we have to use more yeast because it hasn't got the time to build up to get that carbon dioxide. So I've got some yeast in there. If you want to actually do it quicker, add the salt after about 15 minutes, but I will do that actually. So what we'll do is we'll add the yeast to here, and then in a bowl here, Mrs. Spielberg, I've got some water and some honey. And you may say to me, John, why are you adding honey to this? Unless you've got an oven that isn't over 600 Fahrenheit, you want the honey, that's gonna help it brown. So you listen to what I'm saying to you? It's going to help it brown. Now what are you laughing at now?
Because I'm like nodding my head like I'm listening.
Yeah, that's
but
funny.
no one can see
No
me.
one can see it. Mrs. Spielberg's like, Okay, so we're going to use our dough hook. We're going to place it on and use our dough hook. So all we've done, Mrs. Spielberg, is just measured this out, put it into the dough hook, and I'm going to bring this down, and I'm just going to let this go. So we'll just turn it on and we'll let it go. Now remember, different flours will act differently. If you're in Florida where it's very humid, the flour may have absorbed some of the moisture, the humidity through the bag, so it may take a little bit less water. We're looking for a softer mixture. Remember, when we're cooking in a home oven, we want a higher hydration. Hydration means the amount of water. If we're cooking in one of these unis, in a rock box or in a wood oven, you can have a lower amount. I like to have about 55 to 60% hydration. So if I had 1 cup, that would be 60% of 1 cup with the flour. So I always like with the water to flour ratio, but we can see this is coming together. So in the recipe, what I've given you, Mrs. Spielberg, I say add the salt, but I haven't added the salt now. Because if you let this rest, then add the salt 15 minutes after, it saves you near enough an hour improving. Because what happens is salt actually slows it down. But the way I wrote it is because I want a lot of people forget to add the salt. So if you are going to do it this way, but I'll add the salt to it, we'll turn it on and we'll just let that go. So that's the first dough. And this is one of those doughs that I use if we've got, say for instance, we live in Martha's Vineyard, we have someone give us a call, say we're coming over tonight, and I just want to make some flatbreads, whether it's some grilled lamb on there or something like that. Let's make, yes?
What about lower humidity environment?
Lower humidity environments, you should be okay with the water ratio. Normally when I make a recipe, I usually allow for about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of flour more for the mistakes what people make. So great question.
Your buddy Doug's on too. So you
Doug,
can say it.
Sausages. How are you, Doug? We've missed you, mate. We've missed you. So I want to show you something, and this is one what I find a lot of people have fear with. Once you learn this, your pizza skills will go to absolutely the next level. Pew! Just like, you know when them footballers go, poof, kick the ball.
Wow, you get your leg up pretty high.
Wasn't it? It was pretty good.
Must be all this working out you're doing.
It's all the working out. I've got the flour in a cup. I'm using no fancy machinery in Mr. Spielberg.
Yeah.
The flour, I'm putting the flour The yeast, we're using dried yeast, not fresh yeast. The reason why we don't use fresh yeast on the show is because not everybody can get it. Okay. Fresh yeast is wonderful, but we can't get our hands on it on the island. Look, flour, yeast is going in there, and some honey. Honey, remember, nice. The reason why you use the honey is because the oven isn't going over 600 Fahrenheit.
Got it.
Too many cricket, look at my shirt.
You're really getting it all over
Oh God, I look like I've been on a night out with Charlie Sheen. Okay, honey's going in there. Honey.
Yeah.
Little bit of honey, and now we're gonna add some water. We're just gonna add some water, and what we're doing here is called a pre-starter. And you'll notice when we make the pre-starter, Mrs. Spielberg, it's a lot less than what we do to make the day. Look at the ingredients, because we give it a chance. Now what happens here is that honey is going to mix with that yeast. That yeast is going to start to eat the honey. It's dinner time. We're waking it up.
There's got to be a move for that.
There is. It's like this. It's like... No!
That was like you watching Ozark last night on the couch.
Oh my God. My God. Erica's got me watching this show called Ozark on Netflixy or whatever that thing's called. What's it called? Netflix. She's got me watching it on there. And
he always falls asleep 15 minutes in. Forget it. He's like an old man. Anyway.
I can't believe you're telling me that I fall asleep on the sofa. Okay, look. See this, Mrs. Spielberg? I am mixing this together with a fork. No fancy tools. This is a pre-starter. This pre-fermentation is a game changer. When you think about having pizza, what normally happens is you have pizza, it's made that same day, and you use a lot of yeast in it to get the carbon dioxide, to get those bubbles. When you eat the pizza, you feel unpleasant. Because we let this go overnight, what happens is it starts to eat the honey for the first 60 minutes. Once it's eaten the honey, then it will start eating the simple sugars in the flour. So when you have this pizza, it's so light, you could eat a whole pizza and still feel good. That's what happens when you go to Italy. Let me just grab the cloth.
There's a question around poolish. What's poolish?
A poolish is exactly the same. So there's two different things. Poolish, Tigger, and there's poolish, there's Tigger, and then you've got a bigger. It sounds good. Doesn't it sound like some 1960s black and white comedy? So let's first of all, poolish, bigger, 50% flour. Yeah. So half a cup of water, 1 cup of flour. That's a bigger. So that's a 50% hydration. A poolish is 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water. So that's the hydration of it. So that's what we call 100% hydration. All pizza, there's hundreds of different types from Detroit to Chicago to Connecticut to New York. There's all different types. They all just work. They're all the same ingredients: flour, water, salt, oil, and a hydrate. It's all about hydration. Pre-fermenting, this pre-fermentation, this starter, this is a poolish. If you look at the ingredients, it's a poolish because it's 100% liquid to 100% flour. Bigger would be 50%. This, right, I mixed it with a fork, so there's no excuses. You can use any bowl you want. This is just one of those plastic Chinese takeout things, okay? I'm gonna take this, put a lid on it, or some plastic wrap, in the fridge overnight. In the fridge, or 12 hours. After 12 hours, look at those two, Mrs. Spielberg. Just take a look.
Very nice.
What can you see?
Shout out to my family who's all watching.
Oh, good. Hello, everybody. And I want to also shout out to Ben in England. We have young Ben who watches the show from England, and he's been telling me, I've got to start, I have to start given some English ingredients instead of some of the Americans. So Ben, great feedback, we'll do that for you. And well done, he's gonna have another child as well. He's already got one child, he's gonna have another one. We'll see the dough. Just let that rest now, Mrs. Spielberg, for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll play about with it. Place this one to one side. Right, now we've got Mrs. Spielberg. Take a look. Here's the pre-fermentated one.
It's
See
just
that
like
one?
when you pre-ferment it, is it like a sourdough starter?
You could say it's, well, different process. That would be natural. That would take longer than this. But just take a look in, guys. See the difference. All it done is just sat
This one's
overnight.
which?
This is the one we just made.
Okay.
And you can see this sat overnight. The yeast is eating it. So it's eating the simple sugars, Mrs. Spielberg.
I just keep going back to the made pizzas because I'm dying for a piece of that.
Okay, look. What we're going to do is take this, Mrs. Spielberg, into a bowl and pouring it in. Can you see all that carbon dioxide? Into the bowl. So that wasn't a lot of work. You see me stirred it with a fork. We just let it sit overnight. That's all we done. It just sat overnight. No work at all. Now we go back to where we normally are. We've weighed the flour. Water goes in here. Just some regular water. Yeah?
Yep.
Some salt goes in here. Olive oil. In Napoli, you know, if you was in a competition, you wouldn't be able to use olive oil. We use olive oil because it gives us a smoothness and it gives us an elasticity to the pizza. And now we add the flour. Can you see this? Now listen.
Does this go into the fridge or does it sit on the cover?
1 hour outside, 1 hour room temperature.
Okay.
So I'm going to place the lid on it. What did I do with the lid? Place this lid on it, let it sit for an hour, because remember, we're waking it
just
up.
Put it into the side for 1 hour.
For 1 hour, then put it into the fridge overnight.
Overnight, okay.
Come on, it's so easy. It really is that easy, and it's a game changer. You will make the best pizza, some of the best pizza you've ever had for that little step. I've mixed the ingredients in a bowl. There's no fancy stuff. If you wanted to, if you don't have a mixer, mix it by hand, okay? Comes onto the stand mixer, Mrs. Spielberg. I'm going to grab that hook, put the hook back on, and let this knead for about 5 to 6 minutes.
That's good. Even Taylor's going to make this pizza. He's learning along with us.
You know what? Taylor's learned a lot. Taylor's traveled all over the world with me, and he's learned so much.
Taylor would probably also like
Taylor,
the Aperol Spritz.
Miss you, buddy.
Lipstick's all over it.
Yeah. I bet you Taylor's made an Aperol Spritz before.
And we've got a lot of friends. I know that the Fields are on from Crystal. We've got a lot of our Crystal friends and family who've been watching and learning with us. We've got Thomas on and
hey,
so many
Thomas.
of our friends.
How are you?
Annabelle and
hi, Annabelle. You're coming to pick up a pizza later.
Yep, Deb and Judy are on, and Darcy and Seth. And
Darcy and Seth, oh my God.
So many people
I think we're going to build a good family. If you do enjoy the show, please share it. Our only goal is to teach you how to cook, to celebrate life and to do it. Hey, and I want to say to my Crystal family, I'm so sorry what's happened. You know, for anyone who doesn't know, Crystal Cruises, unfortunately, this week, have gone bankrupt, you know, and it's a sad, sad thing. It's a sad thing for all the team members and a sad thing for all the guests. We have the most wonderful memories. We were meant to go to Antarctica in a couple of weeks' time on Crystal Endeavour, but unfortunately that's been postponed. But I want to say to all the team members on there, I love you and I care about you, and I've wrote to most of you this week, and to the guests who have come across. Thank you. Without Crystal, I wouldn't have gotten to know you guys. So my heart goes out to them, and I just, it's sad. It's just a sad thing. Okay, back to pizza, Mrs. Spielberg. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to get all crying. Okay. The dough, Mrs. Spielberg.
This is a big dough.
We make the dough, right?
Yeah.
You can see it's got some nice, it's sat in there on the counter for an hour. Now, look, I'm just dragging it. Grab a little bit of flour, Mrs. Spielberg. I'm going to grab a little bit of flour. Let's just show you what we do here. A little bit of flour on your hands.
Yeah, okay.
See a little bit of flour?
Yep.
I'm going to grab the dough. Comes out.
I can't keep up. You're moving fast.
That's the story of my life. You want to see me on the dance floor?
Oh, I've seen you on the dance floor.
Yes. Okay. So traditionally, you know, when you have a pizza, it's going to be towards a Neapolitan pizza, about 250 grams. What are you laughing at?
I just saw Dominique's on. So
I love Dominique.
We love Dominique.
Okay, look, Mrs. Spielberg.
Yeah.
A little bit of flour on your hands. Give it a pinch, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to weigh it off. You don't have to weigh it off.
What's happening over there?
I'm just turning this off. You don't have to weigh it off. Can you see that carbon dioxide happening? Look at that beauty.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Looks gorgeous, doesn't it? You know it's going to be
Whoa.
good. Okay, see, look at the bubbles forming. Normally, Mrs.
It's
Spielberg.
getting really close to my sweater. Be careful. Be careful. This is a good one. I don't have an apron on.
Okay, look. So everybody says, I don't know how to ball it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of flour on your hands, okay? We'll weigh it first. Let's weigh it, okay?
Got it.
See, what are we up to? 363. You know, at home,
Grams.
usually, grams. So usually,
What would that be?
A handful. I don't know, I weigh in grams, I'm a baker. So normally in Neapolitan would be between 280 to 350 grams. If you're in a contest, it's going to be 280 grams. We grab the dough, look. Just look at this, Mrs. Spielberg.
Yeah.
A little bit of flour on my hands, just to make sure. Watch. I'm going to pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. See? Pulling it in, yeah? Pulling it in, pulling it in, pulling it in. Making a nice little, as if we're making like a soup dumpling, just like this, pulling it in. And now we have a smooth ball. Do you see that?
That was amazing.
Do you see? It's a smooth ball. And now
I
we
don't
have
know
a
if I
ball.
could do that. That's really
You
good.
could totally do it. I can't give you the camera to do it, okay? So now you have a smooth ball. We take the smooth ball, yeah, a little bit of flour on it, and then we put it into what we call a pizza box.
Thank you, Kathy. 454 grams to 16 ounces. Was it 454 grams? Or was it 45 grams?
Yeah. Okay. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I've been
either.
drinking Aperol Spritz.
Jackie thinks it looks like burrata. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, so look, Jackie, what happens is we've assembled it. We take this. We want to let it rest for 2 hours. Here's our dough that we made a few hours ago. Here's the one what was overnight. Can you see the difference? Look at the difference in the dough. Can you see that?
Yeah, so this one's
It's
flatter.
much different. Yes,
This
and you
one's
can see
spread
that.
out a lot
You can
more.
see this has got more air, and that's because we made the poolish the night before. From a flavor profile, this is marvelous. Now, I want you to know that you can make your pizza, right, like this, 3 days ahead of time. If you think about a pizzeria, it's not just making the dough for that night. You can make it and do it 3 days ahead. What will
Overnight in the cooler, right?
in the cooler? Yeah, don't leave it out. If
It'd
you
be
leave it
huge.
out, it's going to be like.
It'd be like that movie, The Blob. The Blob, when the
It's
blob
going to be
just
like
comes
this.
for
This
you
is
in the
what.
fog.
Pretend the yeast is underneath here, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, and God, you're scaring me. Do you proof at room temperature?
We do proof at room temperature.
I swear
We always
to God,
want.
he's only had like 2 sips
We
of his
wa-
Aperol Spritz.
Listen, if you're really technical, you want to bring it out at least 2 hours before from the fridge. Between 60 and 65 Fahrenheit, you want the dough to be, okay?
Yeah.
So if you use a thermometer between 60 to 65 Fahrenheit, let's just say you're 2 days in and this stuff has all gone into a rascal. You're thinking, sausages, I can't use the thing, okay?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Just watch.
Where am I going? Here?
Do this.
Okay.
Just take one. Just put a little bit of flour on this, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to show you. If it was a mess, like a mess, yeah?
Yeah.
Put a little bit of flour. Always a little bit of flour, guys, on your spatula. See a little bit of flour, Mrs. Spielberg, on the spatula. In. Just come into it. It comes off. Just pinch it like that. Now, say for instance, I'm just going to do this on purpose.
Yeah. Whoa.
You've made a mess of it. You've made a
Okay.
mess. You think, sausages. What am I going to do? I made a mess of this pizza.
Can this dough also be used for focaccia?
Yes, yeah, it's great for focaccia. A little bit of olive oil on top. Okay, you've made a mess.
Whoa.
Oh
Whoa.
my gosh, I can't believe that chef's made a mess. Don't mess around. Just do this, watch. Fold it that way. Fold it the other way, okay? Now, bring it together like we said. Bring it together.
Flip it.
Come in here. With your hands, just come around. Now we've got the ball, little bit of flour, both sides. Let that sit for 2 hours. It just needs 2 hours to come back to life. A little bit like sometimes me on them after they've had a week.
After Ozark?
I can't believe this. I don't even know. Hey, you guys shouldn't put up with this. You should stand up for me. So for 2 hours, it will come back into a pizza. So don't worry. It's not about what happens to you. It's how you deal with it. Okay, let's make some pizza. So what we're going to do today, Mrs. Spielberg, we're going to do two methods. I'm just going to chop this up from its friend over here, okay?
Yeah.
Going to get it off. I'm just chopping down the sides to get it off. Now what we do when we make pizza, Mr. Spielberg, let's put him back in his container. Where's his container gone? He's over here, because we'll ball him up after. I love making pizza. Please ask questions from an amateur standpoint, because I really want to.
Doesn't working it make it tough?
The more you knead it, it gets it tough. This one needs 2 hours now to get back to where it is. The less is more with pizza. The more you knock the air out. It's not just making it tough, it's taking all the air out. Okay, so look, a little bit of flour on the side. Okay, Mr. Spielberg, I'm coming in. A little bit of flour in one go. I'm coming out. He's sticking a little bit there. Don't worry about him. Into the flour, straight into the flour. I bring him off, yeah? I bring him onto the countertop. Here he is. So let's take a look at him.
What's this guy's name?
His name's Bubble.
Oh wow!
Hello, Bubbles.
Wow. So if it bubbles, you should squeeze the bubble.
Just squeeze the bubbles, yeah. Okay. So what we want to do now, we know we've got some flour under to stop it from sticking. First thing we want to do.
Can you freeze the extra dough?
You let it proof and then freeze it. Let it proof, ball it back down, degas it, and freeze it.
Okay.
Look what I'm doing, Mrs. Spielberg.
Is this degassing it?
So what I'm doing now is I'm pressing, I'm pressing, I'm pressing, I'm pressing. Now watch with my fingers, Mrs. Spielberg. I'm going to push forward to put the crust, and I'm sealing it. See? I'm pushing and I'm sealing the air. See the way I'm pushing the air?
Yep.
So turn it over. We know we haven't done the other side. With your fingers, push, push, push. Seal it. Remember what we're doing? We're doing Neapolitan here. We'll do a regular pizza next. Now we've got, turn it back. Take a look. Can you see we've got our crust? That's what we want, that airy crust. Pinch that little bit of a balloon there, because he's going to cause us problems in the oven. At this stage now, in the center, we've got that. Do not deflate the sides. Push, 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 push. See what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Just slap it. You are so beautiful, my little Neapolitan pizza, my little Neapolitan pizza. I thought you were on the ground. Now, under your hands.
Oh. Okay, wait, I gotta back up.
On your hands. So now we've got...
Are these like personal pan pizzas?
This would be a... Well, no, I think this would do. Usually what you'll do is with Neapolitan, you'll get a couple of people will have two. At this stage, get rid of all the flour. Comes off. We're not worried about it sticking, yeah? We're not really that worried. So now you can see you've got yourself a nicely shaped pizza. Yes, Maria.
Do not use the rolling pin, and how thin do you want to make it?
So let's go to rolling pin if you want to. Not for Neapolitan. Here's the dough what we made today. So here's today's pizza. I'm going to grab the pizza into the dough. So this is the one you make.
You got to slow down your movements. We're going to make everyone dizzy.
Oh, sorry. Here's the one if he wants to make it with a rolling pin. So for those who don't want to do that, here's the way to do it, okay? Just grab your rolling pin out, pinch the bubble. Remember the bubble? So we're going to
The bubble is not our friend.
It's not your friend. So you're just moving it a quarter, you're moving it round each time. Pinch the bubble. The bubbles are your friend when the pizza rises. You're just going to use your rolling pin. Can you see we're rolling it out? Okay, rolling it out. And you go as thick and as thin. You don't have to pick it up, but I just love picking it up because I get to feel...
This makes you really look professional.
It does?
Yeah.
Let's do the same next
Don't
week.
get it on the ceiling.
Let's
though.
do.
You're not flopping.
And the moon at your rise like a big pizza hot as the morning.
That
Okay,
would've been awesome.
so
It's all in your head.
that's one way you can do it, Mrs. Spielberg. Okay. So happy days. We feel good. Any questions on pizza at the moment?
You can toss it though if you're like experienced in tossing, right?
Yeah, of course you can. Remember though, what's the point? What's the real point in tossing it? You know what I mean? So let's do it. Okay, so let's bring on the Neapolitan back. Let's bring them back. Just a little bit of flour just to make sure. Okay, so for the Neapolitan, Mrs. Spielberg, let's talk about ingredients. Tomatoes. For tomatoes, we want to always buy whole tomatoes. Diced tomatoes in a can are always going to be a lot more water than tomato. Whole tomatoes, San Marzano, have a wonderful flavour. I really like these. I buy these because I make a lot. I like these Bianco. These are really good. These are actually from Italy, they're from America, but it's a really good tomato. I would always say use tomatoes. Now, one of the keys what really sets my pizza aside is doing this, right? So what I'm going to do is garlic olive oil. So watch, I'm going to brush the pizza. Anyone who's ever had my pizza, they always say, why is it so good? And this is one of the tricks I do. Make a garlic, olive oil. This helps in the oven with the crust because we haven't got a 900 Fahrenheit oven. Yes?
Where did you get the Bianca di Napoli
I
on
got
the
them.
island?
I didn't get them on island. I got them at the at that famous store where everyone buys stuff online.
Amazon.
Yeah, yeah. Tomatoes. Crush the tomatoes. Just some crushed tomato. Hand crush the tomatoes. You can see there's some fresh basil in there. Sea salt and olive oil. Less is more, Mrs. Spielberg, with pizza. People put too much tomato sauce on it. So normally about 3 to 4 tablespoons of tomato sauce. And then, you know, when it comes to the mozzarella, Mrs. Spielberg,
Yes.
the mozzarella, a great trick for you. If you're using buffalo mozzarella as such, what you want to do is the night before, place it into a colander, let the water drain off it. See here? Look. Yeah.
Well, there was a question about, you made a pizza on another show last year.
Yeah.
How is this dough different?
The dough, what we done last year is we made, it was Granny Ashton's dough. It was just to show you that you could take Granny Ashton's bread dough and you could use that. Granny Ashton's bread dough doesn't have any oil in it, but it was just to show you that you could make, if you had extra dough, you could make a pizza with it. So that's great. That was on the show, the Crystal at Home show we did last year. Okay, Mrs. Spielberg.
Nice.
Parmesan cheese. A little bit of Parmesan cheese on there, see?
Yep.
Normally I actually put it under the tomato sauce, so I apologize. Okay, so what we want to do, Mrs. Spielberg, is the oven has been preheating to 550 Fahrenheit, okay?
Yeah.
So I've got a steel on the top. Come over
you
here for a minute while we do this. I've got a steel on the top, and I'll talk about them in a minute, and I've got a stone on the bottom.
Okay.
It's been preheating 550 Fahrenheit. I'm going to change this to broil. Okay? It's gone to broil for 3 minutes now. Now you're thinking to yourself, so what I'm doing now, I'm going to let time sit for a minute. The longer this sits on the countertop, see this pizza? That's going to stick to the countertop.
Yep.
And I want it purposely to stick now, because my whole job is to teach you how you go wrong. So let it sit for a minute. While it's sitting, let's talk about steel versus clay tile. So Claystone, when you buy one, don't buy a small one like this. If you bought a small one, you're going to struggle with your pizza on it. You want something at least 16 inches. So I've got one what's 16 inches in there. Just going to put this off to one side. You want one at least 16 inches. Now, what's the difference between Claystone and steel? Steel recovers quicker. So I always use steel, but I have two. What I normally do, because I'm doing the broiler method, because if you think about it, an oven just circulates heat. When we think of an oven, a wood-fired oven, it has the roof, it's round, the flames come up and they come onto it.
Very animated.
But I don't know any other way around it. Well, what would you do?
I mean, if you
But
were
the
a
flames-
flame.
Flames. That can be taken the wrong way. This, oh my God, I can't
Just have
believe
a sip.
It's got the colour of a fiery red Tuscan sunset. It's
Sure
just gorgeous.
does.
The hues. The flame comes and cooks the top. By doing the broiler method, we want the leopard spots.
What is the equivalent of broiling in the UK?
Grilling. You're grilling.
Thanks,
Okay.
Natalie.
So now we've got, remember, this is in there. The broiler's on now.
Yeah.
If we didn't broil it, it wouldn't get as brown. Okay? So what we want to do now, Mrs. Spielberg, we know that's going to stick. Okay?
Yeah.
If it's sticking, look, if it's sticking to your countertop, a little bit of flour on your bench scraper. Bench scrapers are inexpensive. Just come around it before you put it on your peel, making sure it's coming off, okay?
Yeah.
Great. I just want to, the whole thing is everyone can show you the bloody recipe. You see all these shows and everything goes perfect. I don't like that. I like it when things go wrong. You know what I mean? Because then you can show people a solution, because we're all just trying our best in life. A little bit of flour on the bottom, okay? Grab the dough, pinch in one go, come up, yeah?
Yeah.
Shape
That's
it,
good.
shape it into a nice shape, off to the oven.
Okay.
Here we go.
Does cornmeal on the counter help?
I'm going to show you what we do now. I'll talk about that. Here's the broiler, here's the pizza stone in there. Happy days. Here's the pizza where we done it with the rolling pin, the pizza, okay? We're just going to start this one now. So let's start this little fella. When it comes to actually the flour for our pizza, my friends, great, whoever asked that question, do not use cornmeal. It's too coarse. So what we use is semolina flour. 50% semolina flour, 50% flour. Look, here's semolina flour, look. See the way it's quite coarse? Not that cornmeal. Sometimes you go to people's homes and they use cornmeal, like this cornmeal stuff. God blimey, it nearly breaks me English teeth, American teeth.
Judy said if you come to her house, she'll show you where things go wrong. That's brilliant. Thanks, Judy.
Okay, so let's go again from it. Let's go again. Look, Mrs. Spielberg.
Yeah.
Garlic olive oil, brushing it on. This is the game changer, guys. It helps it brown. It keeps it beautiful. Garlic olive oil on the pizza. Happy days. Next thing, tomato sauce. Tomato sauce, not too much. Less is more. This is the one where we use the rolling pin. Okay? Next thing, Parmesan cheese. Always Parmesan. Reggiano Parmesan. Don't use the proper Italian. Good ingredients make great tasting food. Don't cheap out. Mozzarella cheese. Don't buy the stuff that's pre-grated. The pre-grated stuff has flour on it. So because it's pre-grated, it's not going to melt correctly. Whereas this is what we want. Some cheese. At this, go on, Mrs. Spielberg.
How do you make the garlic?
Garlic olive oil. You just take olive oil and you grate it into it. Just
like
olive
on
oil.
a microplane, right?
On a microplane, yeah. Okay.
Good
so
question.
now we've got, great question. Okay, so now we've got that. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to use my little oven here. I've got a little pizza oven here. It's made by Breville, who is brilliant. Some people are buying the unis now. Some people are purchasing the rock boxes now. So there's many different ones you can purchase, which give us great pizza. Okay, so I'm going to add some of the, as always, I'm going to flour. You can see, if you're going to buy a perforated paddle, make sure it's perforated because it shakes the excess flour off, okay? Coming under, in. Once it's on, you can spread it, pull it to the shape you want it, okay?
Yeah.
If you want more cheese, you can have more cheese. If you want pepperoni, have pepperoni. You want meatballs, have meatballs. Go where you want to go. You are the Christopher Columbus of your taste buds. You can go wherever you want. So this one, let's bring this into the little oven. This one's by Breville. It's called a Pizzola, and it's a great little. I think it does a fabulous job. Okay, let's take a look down below, Mrs. Spielberg, on how we're doing with this.
So we're going back into the stove.
So let's take a look. Remember what we did with this one, Mrs. Spielberg. We've gone in and we're using the broiler, and you can see it's starting to get a nice crust on it now, yeah?
Yep.
So you're getting a really good crust. I'm going to make one more just to show everybody if that's okay. I'll just grab another dough. Let's just show you again how to make the Neapolitan style. So we're going to grab the dough, grab it into the flour, just to make sure it's floured, yeah? Because we don't want it to stick to us. I just want to show you this one more time. Onto the bench. Remember what we did? Push, get the lip. See the lip? I'm just getting the shape of the lip, just with my finger like that. Push the air. See the way I'm pushing it? Push, press, push, press. See the way we're pushing the air out to it? And pressing. That seals that crust. So now the crust is there. Turn it over. Push, 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 push. Press, 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 press. There. Slap. Tap it down. Break the air out. Just pressing it, you can see. The center now, we don't want to touch. Comes onto the hands. Any way you want to do this. Let me just check this. This was the one what we were using for the made one. Okay, pressing it down. See? Does anyone have any questions about rolling the pizza out? Anyone have any questions on rolling it out? If you don't want to roll it out, you can use the side of your counter. Come here, Mrs. Spielberg. Let the natural gravity, so you can use the side of your counter. Just keep twisting it and the natural side of your counter will help. It's pretty, what I love about pizza, if it feels thick in one area, that means it needs pressing. If it feels thin, it doesn't need pressing. And please, it doesn't matter if your pizza's not round. It doesn't matter about that. You don't have to worry. A lot of people just stress out too much, you know, because the pizza isn't round.
It smells so good.
Yeah, it's really good. If you find that there's a little bit too much water or oil on there, you can always take a paper towel as well, Mrs. Spielberg, if you used to find that there is. So at this stage now, you can see it's cooking beautifully. You can see that pizza's just really coming nicely. And you can make excellent pizza in your home just by making a good dough. Don't buy the stuff from the store. If you're in a rush maybe, but in general, making pizza should be fun. You know, it's something you can do with your family. This comes out. Maybe a little bit too long on that one. No worries, that's all right. At least you can see it makes a good crust. So when it comes out, Mr. Spielberg, I think if I was to tell the world's truth, it looks like it's come from Pepe's in New Haven. Pepe's from New Haven.
That's one of my favorites.
Has a lot of char to it. But just look at that crust on there, Mrs. Spielberg. Let's bring this one out. Bring this one out. Turn this oven off for a second. Let's bring these out.
Are you showing how to make it in the cast iron pan?
What I'll do with the, yeah, of course, yeah. With the cast iron pan, basically what we do, ladies and gentlemen, two things I want to show you. Number one, if you want to cook on a steel plate, which is great for under your broiler, turn it upside down. Now you don't need a steel plate, you can just guide your pizza on that. Or just a little bit of oil on the bottom, tiny little bit of oil. See the way it's just coated? Take your pizza dough, come in, shape it to whatever shape you want it to be at that time. Come into the cast iron skillet, yeah? Garlic, olive oil, yeah? Garlic, olive oil. Listen, just one quick thing, I've got to do this now. While it's hot, brush it with oil. Remember, everybody hates crust. So what we do is just a little bit.
I don't hate crust.
Everybody get the garlic, olive oil on the crust. So as soon as it comes out, garlic, olive oil comes on. The reason why we do that is we try to encourage people to eat the crust out. And we'll come back to this in a second. Little bit of Reggiano Parmesan all over it. That's going to melt. It's going to make that crust absolutely gorgeous.
Is the pan preheated?
The pan's not preheated for this one. If you wanted to do, you could do it. If you wanted to preheat the pan, you'll get a better crust on it. But I just want to show you the simple one. Remember, you can cook the pizza upside down on it. We got the garlic olive oil on there, which from now on, you don't make pizza without putting garlic olive oil on it. I'll be able to taste it, and when I come to your house, I'll say, what did I tell you?
George, I don't think that John has ever tried making a gluten-free version.
Who?
George was wondering if you had ever tried making a gluten-free version.
A gluten-free pizza? I haven't. This comes on, but I'm always willing to try it. Tomato comes on there, Mrs. Spielberg. As we done, buffalo mozzarella, we drained it, remember? Look at all that water. Because we drained it, a lot of, when you watch a lot of pizza videos, they don't tell you to drain it. We sliced it into these pieces, yeah? We got it sliced. It goes off. You can add your sausage, your pepperoni, your turkey meatballs. You could add anything you want to it at this stage. Off into the oven, goes in the oven, top shelf. Let it go. It's in there. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna take this onto there.
I think you're so fast. You close it.
Oh, take a look. Have a wee look. Just be careful. I don't want to lose all the heat. Okay. Into the oven. Let that cook for about that. Because it's in a cast iron skillet, and because the sides are actually stopping the heat from grabbing it, it's going to take a little bit longer than normal. You might find that the bottom gets a little bit brown before the sides. If that happens, just turn your broiler on. And there you have it. When it comes to finishing, when you look at the pizza, if you think to yourself, hey, this has got a little bit too much oil for me, just take a paper towel, just a little paper towel. If you think it's got too much oil for you, feel free to just get a paper towel. Yes.
I want Chris to tell me if this looks anything like our favorite place.
And then some people, when they make it, they put the basil on before. Myself, personally, I like it afterwards.
Can you put it on a barbecue?
On a grill yes, you can definitely cook it on the grill. What I normally do with that, guys, is I normally actually with that is I'll go on.
Go ahead, you can finish.
Normally what I'll do is start it in the house. So if I'm having a grill out with friends and family, I roll it out a little bit thinner. I cook it off slightly in the morning time, so the doughs are already slightly cooked. And then when I'm having a party, I just grill it on there then. So that's one of the ways I do it.
Sheila Ben David wanted to know if you are making it with sausage. Does the sausage need to be cooked first?
Alexa, stop. When it comes to sausage, really good question with it. You can actually tear raw sausage into little tiny dime pieces. So they're going to be the size of a marble and use it that way. That's the best way if you want it really juicy. Feel free, if you wanted to, you could pre-cook it. Another way what you can do as well is to have your sausage cooked and after cook it. So basically your sausage is cooked. When it comes out, you warm your sausage up and you put it on. So let's just show you this, Mrs. Spielberg. Just take a look. Can you see leopard spots on there? Mm-hmm. It's got the leopard spots. This was done under the broiler. It looks beautiful. I'm gonna cut this open. Let's just take a listen to the crunch. So you've got that beautiful crunch, and then we should have that nice airy crust. The cheese is melting, as you can see, but just look at that crust. Look how light that is. Just look at how light that dough is. It's really beautiful dough. If you wanted to at this stage, you could add some salt and some pepper, so feel free to. But when you eat this pizza, the one thing I'll guarantee is that it will be so light you could eat the whole thing. Cooking's about having fun, and you don't make mistakes, you just make snacksidents. There's a reason why the good Lord gave us neighbours, and the reason why he gave us neighbours is so you can give them all your mistakes you do in the kitchen.
There's a lot of people picking up pizza tonight, so that's
good. Yeah, and feel free to make the, first of all, make the quick dough and even leave that overnight. That can last about 3 days in the fridge. You can re-boil it up. Remember what we've done. If you make a mistake, you can re-boil it. 2 hours after, you'll be back to square one with it. So it's going to be quite forgiving. Dough after 2 days really picks up a great flavor. Making pizza should just be fun. Whenever you're cooking, I've always said, don't worry about mistakes. It's just a blooming mistake. It's just having fun. And like,
it's an accident.
It's a snackcident, and you only get better from making mistakes. That's the way it is. I'm so happy you joined us today. I mentioned before about Crystal. I'm so sorry about that. I've had a few tears. When I got the news on Wednesday, my Mrs. Spielberg and I went to the store and I baked 20 parcels of cookies, and we done handwritten cards for all the people in the Miami office, so they'll get a surprise on Tuesday.
Well, now it's not a surprise.
I don't even know if they watch. I don't know if they watch. Well, hey, if you are watching anyone from the Miami office on Tuesday, expect a FedEx. I sent you all a handwritten note and some cookies, especially baked for you. So sorry for all the guests. I know we'll meet each other on the ocean with some other cruise line, all being well.
Polly had a great question. Where do you find the recipes? So Polly, on Mondays, we post the recipe in the post. So if you go back to the Live from Happy Days Facebook page, you can see it every Monday. That's where we post. What are we making next Sunday? Yeah, and Polly, we're doing that for now, and then they'll end up on my website eventually, johnashton.com. For now, while we're getting the show, we're doing it. We've just been posting it on Facebook. Next Sunday, it's that time of the year where we think about those warm dishes. I want to show you a dish. It's called, it's a limoncello pork ragu, and it's one of those simple ones. I kind of like them one pot dishes where you just take a hunk of meat, chop it into a few pieces, put it into a pan with a few ingredients and let it cook for 3 hours. When it comes out, you have this bouquet of lemon, this brightness, and then there's the rosemary in there. And then we just take some fresh pasta. You either make the pasta or you buy it from the store, or you can use some dried pasta. It naturally makes its own limoncello sauce. You just tear the meat apart into these tender, blissfully tender shards, and then you just mix it up with the pasta, and you have one of my favorite winter dishes, and it's effortless to make. Just that brightness that it has and the way it fills the kitchen with aroma. So we're going to be making that next week.
Thanks for tuning in this week. We've got about 12 people tonight coming to pick up pizza. After every show, every week, we always feed the community because that's what life's about. Remember, we've always got to get to know our neighbour, love our neighbour, and as we always say, please, if you do make a recipe, make some for a neighbour or someone at work. Let's make the world a better place. We definitely want to do that, and we can do that one person at a time. If you enjoyed the show today, please feel free to share it. We're trying to build an audience. We don't have a marketing budget, but what we do have, it's a little show with a big heart. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next week, Mrs. Spielberg.
We'll see you next week. Can't wait.
Cheers,
see
everyone.
you soon. Bye.